The issue now? Oh wait, are we live? Are we finally live?
Oh my good golly gosh.
This has been a process.
I don't think so. I don't think we're live.
Yeah, I think we are.
Ghosts in the chat, if you can hear me.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Thank bejesus.
So, hey everybody, we are streaming from the After Shows YouTube right now.
Yeah, which is why it took oodles of time to figure out, because unfortunately streaming on YouTube is still a complete dumpster fire.
There's something in the settings that we need to resolve where it's not letting you view the stream from Patreon, which is just a minor flaw, but like that just means you have to click into YouTube. So if you're here, you're here. If you're not,
is that even like a feature? Like, can you actually?
Yeah, you actually can live stream
really?
From Patreon, like an embed, which is nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, you're live now. Cool. Hey everybody. All right, so starting. I really wanted pulling the curtains apart after show. Wanted to open up this live stream with us not in the video and just starting with some music. And then we would dance into frame. So pretend like you haven't seen this. We're gonna get out of frame. Okay. All right.
This is how we're starting
every time
from now on. We will be taking suggestions as to what music.
But we will not be taking suggestions to not do it.
Oh yeah, no.
We will only be.
This is a dictatorship.
Set in stone.
We don't have a democracy on this channel.
You just gotta live my truth, you know.
I didn't use that line. I wish I did.
Oh, Jesus. Oh man. Well, okay.
God.
So another thing we're doing that's new, you guys might like, is that I'm keeping a note open with like.
We're trying to remain organized.
Because it's really easy to get lost. So I want to start by saying howdy and thank you for your testimonials that you sent in. I hope you guys liked the video.
Seriously. No, like I think like seeing, at least for me, like seeing actual faces and voices talk about this project made it feel a lot more real in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And especially seeing how some of you really enjoy it as much as Jake and I enjoy it.
And have internalized it in your own way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I write about this a lot, and in probably all the newsletters I was like pretty sappy about this, just that like community like this is really motivating for me and empowering, and that I really truly like think about what
Dancing tweens got nothing on those skills. Don't encourage us.
Just that, like, I think about this community constantly, and you should know that like I think about this community when I'm making my art, like my own art, you know.
Yeah.
It really fires me up, even just the limited way that I normally interact with you all. But then to see your faces talking about how you've, you know, found home in this, damn, like, whew, you guys are all really awesome. So thank you. The other thing I wanted to say is that, as we move on, I think it would be really fun to keep the intro video, like to keep the front end intro video that we have, and to have kind of a rotating cast of testimonials. So like, you should know that if you haven't made one, it's not too late.
Yeah.
You can send us one. And if you feel like you want to update one at some point, like, that's cool too. So I don't know, it's always a weird thing to be like asking somebody to say a nice thing about us, but really I feel like it's saying a nice thing about the thing that you've built, you know. This is like,
I think on another level too, this actually helps us immensely with marketing this project.
Yeah.
But if there are specific things that you enjoy from this Patreon, whether it's, you know, keywords or whatever, send those. They don't have to make sense.
Yeah.
Send them along to us, because as we try and figure, like, in all honesty, nobody knows how to market a Patreon. Excuse me? Nobody knows how to market a Patreon.
Inhaled some water.
You know.
I'm not a mermaid yet.
In time. Give time. But, you know, Patreon is still a very new platform, and, you know, we're trying to figure out what exactly sells a Patreon still. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people have figured that out yet.
Yeah.
And we're also trying to turn to alternative social medias to get the word out.
Right. Like we have an Instagram.
We have an Instagram now. But, you know, we're trying to develop what that is, what that looks like. And, you know, as always, you guys are the ones that give us the best ideas when it comes to this project. So
natural and not synthesized at all transition. We've talked we've talked a little bit about like having a buddy system.
Yeah.
Maybe we've talked to some of you, not all of you, so I'll introduce it like it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Something that I've thought about in the past is like there's a bunch of you and you're all creative, really creative in your own fields, and even if you're in the same fields as each other, just in different ways. This thought came to me because just thinking about this relationship and like sharing a studio with somebody who works in a field adjacent to mine, and how much like not both literally and figuratively like I've learned, you know, and vice versa. I think in my own medium, like working together with somebody who isn't in my medium,
absolutely,
that it could be really cool to like if maybe like there's a sign up system, but like get you guys a buddy so that you can always reach out to us. Like I always say this, but like you can always DM either of us, like on Discord. You can always you know, kind of write in the Discord chats, but like have a buddy so it's almost like pen pals. That way we just pair you up, and whatever your skill level, whatever your profession, that's like proficient at your profession,
proficient in profession.
Mm-hmm. You're sort of you're mishmashing with somebody, and I think like part of something that's so wonderful that I don't think we really take advantage of as much as we could here is that this is like a super global system we have. It's small-ish, but it's a global system, and you should all be really proud of that. We're really proud of that.
I also didn't entirely like I knew it, but like I didn't process it until testimonials.
Yeah, right.
Like that's I don't know. The testimonials like gave me a lot of information that I didn't necessarily otherwise process.
Yeah.
But also like seeing faces.
Yeah.
Like to people that I've talked to online.
So
is always like a surreal kind of moment.
Yeah. So I would love to know. We'll keep talking. I just want to like throw it at you, and maybe in the chat you can tell us your thoughts. I know you're on a slight delay, but we're gonna move on. But like, if you think that a buddy system could be really cool, let us know. If you have a specific idea of like how that could be employed, like I could just say, you know, you and you are buddies now. But if you think that there's a better idea,
forced friends.
Yeah. Oh my God, we could do a video where like, you know, the like the lottery, like where they put them on, like they put the numbers on the balls. And you like spin the thing. It can have like each of your names.
Is that bingo?
Powerballs or like bingo probably has that.
Also, not to make those a whole bunch of PSAs, but like we're really serious about opening up a PO box.
Oh yeah.
And
definitely.
like one thing that I sort of floated to Jake yesterday, which I'm like really interested in, is like if you guys want to like actually send us some of your work, like I don't know if any of you guys like are like visual artists and like you want to like send us like material goods or like whatever, or even stuff that like you want us to hang up in the background, we could do that. Like we could devote a whole entire wall to like Patreon work and stuff.
That would be really good.
Which would be kind of fun. But also send us stickers. So like yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, we do like stickers.
We love stickers.
But no, but like the back, like the wall, we've actually been considering once we're out of this space, getting a set specifically for live streams that always stays the same set.
Going for old grandma vibes.
Yeah, right? And like, yes, exactly. Like the accordioning wallet where it shows all your cats or your grandchildren. It's like, instead of that, it's just like all of your artwork.
I imagine Jake at like age 30, just like with a bonnet.
3 years from now?
Yes.
Yeah.
With a bonnet and an accordion wallet.
Amazing.
You change your name to Jakey.
Yes.
You push around a shopping cart.
I was you were in the one chat, you were talking about those sugar-free candies you like, and I commented about like
oh yeah,
about being grandma Jake.
I got a new one.
Did you?
They're gummy bears, and they're actually pretty good.
I literally can't think of something like that without my stomach and my head hurting.
Really?
Like I have a psychosomatic reaction.
Interesting.
To
like artificial sweeteners.
Like thinking about them instills the experience that I had trying artificial sweeteners. I'm like such a...
You know, weirdly, it's the only thing getting me through the sugar-free thing.
Yeah.
And but weirdly, like, not to make this a whole bunch of like information about us right now, but like I have been like so much more energetic and like I don't know, like I'm handling the sugar-free thing in a way that I never expected that I would.
Yeah.
Like I thought it would just be like a healthy thing to try and do because I was eating a lot of sugar and a lot of candy. But like I feel like after the first like week and a half of just like not really being balanced, not that I'm balanced now, but like I feel the positive ramifications of the lack of sugar, which is weird but good.
Yeah, that is good.
So there's that. Should we jump into some screen time?
Should. Yeah.
So today we only have 3 submissions. But it's still 3 submissions.
Sorry. There is one more thing.
Okay.
That I do want to get. I could do this after our 3 submissions, but we're kind of treading water because we only have a couple submissions and we want to give them time, but we also want to talk to you. And I feel like the first 2 of these that we've done, it's so... Maybe you like this, but it's so marathon that we really don't get a chance to actually just talk with you.
Maybe there's something to be said for only doing like 3 or 4 in this period.
Maybe.
And having like the first half of it just be talking.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know, because an idea that I had when transitioning into this was that these, which is open to all patrons, would supplement the loss of the newsletter. So rather than me writing something once per month, you know, you get a chance to just hear us blab at you, which I don't know if that's better or worse. I mean, it's just blabbing when I was writing too. Anyway, one thing I wanted to do, maybe every Let's Talk, is tell you about the things that we are working on and looking to work on the next week or 2. So, like we just filmed, I can say, right? You're all cool with...
I think, yeah.
Okay, so we just filmed like the iPhone SE video. That's going to come out next. It's going to come out like a couple days from now. We have a couple products coming in.
Actually, I'll probably share the thumbnail with you guys to see what you guys think.
Yeah. I think you said you have the Pixel Buds coming in.
Pixel Buds coming in today, which I'm actually very excited about.
2 OnePlus videos eventually.
Yeah. We have a whole litany of product videos coming.
But we also... I just spent like half of yesterday working on the Cats Great Beyond edit.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the next Great Beyond video.
I want to talk about that too, yeah.
Should we like hint it a little bit? I have a way of hinting it.
Okay.
I have been a professional actor for quite a few years. Mm-hmm. Jake, you haven't done a show ever, right?
No, I've never done a show.
He's never performed or acted in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I've performed a lot.
Well, he's performed on a stage as an actor.
I'm not a thespian.
I'm not. But basically, we are doing a bit of a role reversal from the cooking video, and said I will be taking the reins.
You'll be the chef.
A little bit. I will call him chef. Yes. Of actorial.
The actorial chef. That's what so that's what we're going to be doing Tuesday. Wish us luck. Yeah. We'll be recording that on Tuesday. But yes, we're very close to finishing the Cats video. That is I kind of like subtly introduced it and I haven't talked about it much, but if you look on Patreon, it's a goal to meet. It is not in line with our Great Beyonds at all. No. Like, it's not about learning something.
It's kind of a spin-off.
but it actually was the first one that we recorded, and I think that we were kind of getting a feel for what we wanted, and it's definitely like it is the first longest video we've recorded, I think.
I consider it one of the best things that we've made.
It is
ever.
I sweat when I watch it because I laugh so hard. So I'm excited for you to be able to see it.
Somehow it makes cats better.
And
more laughable.
Okay, we can't talk about this for too long, but Cats in itself is not about the story, because there's no story really.
Yeah.
And because there's no story, and it's just about the visuals and the experience and the songs or whatever.
Yeah.
Cutting that story down into just a couple like snippets of video and then going back and forth between us talking about it doesn't change the story, because you're still getting everything, you know? Man, okay, so we're done. We got to talk about some photos and stuff.
Let's talk about some stuff.
Let's do the thing. We're starting with Beta.
So Beta, great name for someone in tech, by the way, might I add.
Oh. I didn't think about that once.
Or if you're a fish.
True.
Both work.
Those are pretty cool fish.
I had one that killed it.
Because
you're not supposed to
Wait, don't tell him this.
I'm sorry. You're not supposed to oxidize your tank. But ostensibly like that killed him because beta fish can't process oxygen.
It's really upset.
It's weird.
Sophie had one. I can't remember what it was called. Maybe it was like Rainbow or something, which was really
Alpha.
Cute. Alpha. That's edgy.
I was 6.
Yeah, edgy. I would still have told you that.
So, we need to talk about how this is really fucking good.
Yeah.
This photo is graded very well. I love the fact that it's faded out.
I was going to say you'd like that.
I love the fact that there's leading lines, your composition's on point.
Yeah.
The pop of yellow is just perfect. I weirdly really love the phone cord dangling, like the headphones dangling, and the phone being on the ground.
Yeah, it's
like it says something, but I don't know what it exactly says, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like there's almost like a restlessness to it that I really enjoy.
I'm obviously just treading water here because I haven't had time to look at the composition, but I so don't take this personally if you think this is a negative thing, but I'm imagining this as like a graffiti, like a street art, like on on a wall where like it's a comment on like our connection with technology and nature, and I don't like. I think that is literally, it is saying something like that.
Yeah,
and that's cool and interesting, and but even like the perspective, like I really like lower. You're basically at nipple or belly button height.
Yeah. And
you could be professional like that and say that too, but we should call it like, instead of like thirds, we should start calling them like
quadrant.
Like eyeballs, nips, and belly button.
In the belly button sphere.
Yeah.
Michael Tobin brings up a really difficult but interesting thing, which is HDR, and I agree with you. The HDR in this photo, the way it looks, the way it handles HDR, really, really well done. I think HDR is a really difficult thing to master and deal with. There's still a lot of photos that I edit that, like, especially on mobile, where you can't exactly, I don't know, tame HDR as much as you probably wish you could, unless you shoot RAW. But with this photo, you do a really great job at figuring out how to do. I don't know what this was shot on. I feel like a part of me says, I was gonna say mobile, but I don't know if it is shot on mobile.
Beta, are you in the chat? If you're in the chat, let us know.
Even if you're not, just let us know somewhere, because I'm honestly.
Oh, I'm actually getting a message in my head. It was shot.
A part of me thinks it is mobile. Mostly because of this hard line of focus. You see where it becomes out of focus?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
It almost makes me think that, I don't know. I'm not sure. Either way, let us know. But
Carry
no,
on.
really smart moves.
We're not doing a timer today for some reason.
Your coloring for this is really great. Yeah. I love the fact that your blacks are not stark. You have a very faded look, but the saturation is deep. There's a lot of like, it almost gives me like the idea of velvet, this type of photo, and it's very rich. Yeah, I love the leading line of this trail leading to this smokestack.
And your greens are
smokestack, smoke pile. I don't know what it's called. Smoke pile.
And your greens are blue shifted.
Yeah,
which is so appealing
ever so
to me.
Slightly.
Oh my god, it's so nice.
Nah, dude, this is
the slight blue even in the foreground. Photo. Like there's obvious blue in the smoke and there's obvious blue in the background, and that's atmospheric perspective. But this slight blue shift creates an atmospheric, a pseudo atmospheric perspective. I can't speak, but damn, really good. I also like. I think we're becoming broken records because like you talk basically every one of these you talk about. Like off black, and I talk about magnitude.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say about magnitude again, like when you shoot a photo, when you make a painting, when you make a piece of music or a poem or whatever, and it includes the contrast of human scale to nature scale, in like the way that you use that in composition, the way that you frame your items, is really important to creating that story. And like Brandon said, like the little road. And the small smoke, these towers which appear like almost like if you just abstract your mind, the towers are the first thing that feel anthropomorphized. They're like beasts in the distance. Yeah. And that's very wonderful. So that's all I'll say because we want to keep going.
I think the two things I'm just going to mention, I think this photo sort of spawns what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I think all three photos are just a tad over sharpened, just a tad. I don't know. This photo is not mainly in the mountain region. It looks a little over sharpened to me, and in this general region, it looks a little over sharpened to me. It's hard working with greenery and bushes for that exact reason. Like it's very easy for bushes to look over sharpened. But that's probably the only thing I'd say as any type of constructive criticism there.
I think it's similarly, we're playing off of that as a non-photographer, as a compositionalist, and only like without the term, seeing the act of the sharpening, what's happening is a lot of elements are unifying. And so like this is a perfect example of that, where a lot of like the shrubbery, the post-processing sharpening is unifying the texture across distances, and so you end up with a lack of perspective where probably before sharpening you had a bit more focal depth. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's the only thing that kind of like overwhelms me in this photo is that I feel like contrast to the other ones, perspective is lost a little bit. It's a very good photo.
Yeah, no, I'm right. This is right below this. That's the same trail.
Oh, cool.
Is that?
Very cool.
It's amazing how you can just move just a little bit and you get a completely different photo. Like composition wise, Jesus, I can't speak. Composition wise, all three photos are phenomenal. Yeah. You have a remarkable eye for composition.
Yeah, definitely.
I think like directionally too. Like you have a really strong idea of what looks good. I'm curious to know where are these shot?
Yeah, let us know.
Wait, actually, does he say? East Java, Indonesia. Oh, interesting.
Back to photos in East Java. Cool.
I have never been.
Yeah.
But it looks...
It's beautiful.
It's incredible.
Absolutely beautiful.
I love this. So, yeah.
Very wonderful.
Good stuff. Moving on to number 2.
Do you want to know something fucked up?
Yes.
Can I say fuck?
Yes.
Okay. Is
Say
this made for kids?
Wait. Fuck!
Was this chat made for kids?
Got the kitties in the chat.
Ghosts in the chat, baby. So what's fucked up is that with the common globe that we use, the common like map, like stretch of the map that we use. Do you know how like there are different versions of the global map that we use that change the perspective of different parts of the globe because you can't take something that's spherical and make it flat. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a really cool tool out there called like the truesizeof.com or something like that. It's a great website where what you can do is you can take the general, like, there's names for them. I'm not a cartographer, so I don't remember the names of the maps. There's a bunch of different types of maps. Oh no, I'm sorry, Michael. I won't say fuck again.
I'm sorry.
We'll say fragmentation.
Actually, that's good to know, because I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah.
I also wasn't sure if we had said it before. So that's good to know. I'm sorry, dude. Game of Thrones. Oh, I mean... Hey,
okay.
Start him young.
Cool, yeah.
You know.
Teach him Dothraki, I guess.
You know, okay. Not many of you are going to understand this, but that's okay because you can look it up later if you so want to. My parents took me to see a show called Avenue Q when I was 5.
Jesus. Okay.
I was 5.
Cool.
Let me just tell you, it's puppets having relationships that are not Sesame Street relationships.
They're not clothed. There's literally,
yeah.
There's,
he spends too much time around me, and then all of a sudden he's...
Avenue Q...
Avenue Q is not for children in any way, shape, or form.
You literally just watch two puppets having sex.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I feel like you'll understand this. It's one of those things where, like, how do I say this? I want to get back to my other tangent, but how do I say this in the fewest words possible? Theater people. Plug your ears. Theater people are really fucking weird. And very often... There's this duality in theater people where there is a hypersexuality because there's a there's an understanding of being in a hyper emotional state, because being an actor is learning to harness and rein in your emotions. So there's, by virtue of that, there is, especially like in like public university college student theater actors, there's like this hypersexuality and a lack of intimacy. There's this misunderstanding of intimacy, right? So like I've experienced a lot of people who are like theater students who are like, oh yeah, let's talk about how we get drunk all the time. And it's like, no, you don't actually get drunk. And also, no one fucking cares. Like, relax. It's okay. And similarly, like with sex, there's like I feel like Avenue Q is a perfect piece to be performed in a public university, which my public university put on, and it was a horrible...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because the actors get to be like, oh, we got to play, like, puppets having sex. And you're like, okay, cool,
great,
good. So...
Try doing that with an actual person on stage. That's awkward.
So that's that. And you've drained me thinking about Avenue Q.
Good.
You've depleted my life source. But, okay, so the other thing was talking about the true size of, which is a very cool thing. You basically can drag a country around the map, and it shows how, like, its actual size. Like, it shows the size of it relative to another country, because everything's so fucked up. Like, Canada looks huge, but Canada's not actually that big, because there's this distortion that happens, like, in the hemispheres. The farther north you get with our normal systems, the bigger things look. Because of that, the closer to the equator things get, the smaller things look. So, this is going to be a brain fuck for you. Indonesia is wider than the United States is wide. But you'd be hard-pressed to know that, looking at the map that we normally use. It's like, I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think Indonesia is 4,000 or 5,000 miles wide. And our country is 2,800 or 3,000 miles wide.
Holy shit.
Japan, similarly, is the same length as Maine to Florida. You'd never know that.
Wow.
You'd never fucking know it.
Yeah.
Because the system that we use is super Western centric.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's basically like, this must be big and everything else needs to be like sized accordingly.
It's amazing
really
that we're
up.
this far in technology, and yet that's still an issue. That's crazy.
Anyway,
shall we? Okay.
We're gonna beat our voices before we get to let's fix it.
Apparently.
I hope you guys didn't have plans, because we're going over.
Why? I
that's
don't want to download
you. No, you could have just clicked the... No, you don't have to download.
How do I...
Click the link.
Oh, I'm just stupid.
Okay. Garang.
Use the 9.7-inch iPad to understand the
I can
point of
pause
its
it.
existence.
I'm
The
trying.
display is sharp and gets really bright. It's great
Pause.
for reading books,
can't.
posts,
Click.
tweets, emails, and watching Netflix,
Click.
YouTube,
Just
opening
click.
games,
It
making
won't.
video calls, or doing what you are doing right now. And it's better than a phone or a laptop for doing all of these things at home.
Sorry, Garang. Okay.
Okay.
Intro. Okay. Intro. The last couple ones of these, Gorang has sent us 1-minute reviews of things, and they're really good, and they're getting better, and he's
Meant for TikTok.
He's got it. You're meant for TikTok. I don't know if that's a compliment, but I guess you're meant for TikTok.
I mean,
So here's a 1-minute review of, what was it? iPad?
We're about to find out.
Looks like an iPad.
I use the 9.7-inch iPad to understand the point of its existence. The display is sharp and gets really bright. It's great for reading books, Reddit posts, tweets, emails, and watching Netflix, YouTube, or playing games, making video calls, or doing what you are doing right now. And it's better than a phone or a laptop for doing all of these things at home. The display is much bigger than your phone, and while it's also much more portable than your laptop, it's slim, perfectly balanced on all sides, and lightweight. You can let go of your laptop by taking this along on a light work day, where you have to reply to emails, edit Word documents, make a few presentations, making some small changes in Excel sheets, check accounts, or a bit of research. It has a slot for an LTE SIM, the battery to last the whole day, the RAM to smoothly work with 2 primary apps at once while having a small minimizable app on the side. It's not going to replace your laptop, but it can replace it in places where you only need to make light use of it. If you want to edit photos on Lightroom, create templates on Canva, or even edit a few light videos on the go, the iPad has a color accurate screen, the battery life, the processor, and the RAM to do it all, while leaving your lap unbothered and hands unstrained. Hence, the iPad is a great device. It's built and perfected for the purposes which are too big for a smartphone and do not need the full mic and weight of your laptop.
Okay. Okay. I only was able to dedicate about 35% of my brain energy to the rest of your video because your intro was so fucking amazing. I'm a man who loves... I'm a composition... I'm really just going to start calling myself a compositionalist. I love composition.
I've never heard someone refer to themselves as that, but I respect
I haven't either.
Okay.
But all I live and breathe is the concept of narrative and storytelling and composition in whatever you're doing. I think about thesis all the time. The way that that first thing. I mean, you could if you're in marketing or business, you could think about it the same way. That first thing that you hit somebody with is so important. You say, I used the 9.7-inch iPad to figure out its existence. Wait.
Yep. It doesn't work.
It works
why it's not working.
Okay.
I use the 9.7-inch iPad to understand the point of its existence.
To understand the point of its existence.
Why does it pause now?
To understand the point of its existence. In one line, in 3 seconds, you hooked me.
Yep.
It is so fucking good. And different from, blasé, plug your ears, technology reviewers. It's oh my god, you're a scholar and a philosopher and fantastic.
Yeah.
I want to see this. I want to see you interacting with technology where you start each video with from a philosophical standpoint to understand its existence.
Yeah.
To understand my existence.
It's funny.
I use the 9.7-inch iPad to understand my existence. I interact with this Sisyphean beast to understand the point of my meaning.
I think
Jesus, it's so good.
Letting Jake chill for half a second.
I gotta go.
I'm out of here. I think a couple of things really came to mind with this. I love your pacing. I love the poppy vibe to the way it's shot, the way it's edited, to your voice. It really captivates your attention, and I think I might have said this last time, but I don't exactly remember. But it's the first few seconds are really the most important of getting people. Well, let me rephrase that. The first few seconds of not only the way it looks, but the way it sounds and the pacing, those are the most important things of the video because that keeps people involved. That's what keeps people watching it. That type of thing. That gets them ingrained in it. You absolutely did that. And I think, building on what Jake said,
Screamed.
that type of attitude towards it, that type of exploratory attitude, I completely love.
Yeah.
It's great.
Totally.
You're getting exponentially better at this.
Seriously.
Like, every single time you take leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too.
I don't really have anything else to say.
No, they were like we could watch it again, and we don't really have time, but like, I actually, spoiler, I did watch it once before.
Oh, traitor.
And like, there are a couple things that are such good, simple tools that you used to speed up a narrative for a 1 minute review. Like, you actually did a time lapse a couple times, and it's just like so good. Peek behind the curtain. When I received this email from Garang, he also was talking about a longer review that he did, and wanted to know if we could touch on it, and we may touch on it in the Let's Fix It, because it's a long review, and we really, even there, we're not going to have time to look at the whole thing, but he asked about composition, and I was like, composition, but like, as we move forward, I think you'll start to feel, like, this is such a cool restriction to be playing within, and I think you'll feel the push and pull between where to speed things up, where to slow them down, where to show a long shot versus a bunch of fast shots. Yeah. And if you just keep attentive to how that is what you're playing with in this medium, you know, your big thing is, your thesis is, I'm doing something interesting in 1 minute. Make that a composition. It's a symphony, you know?
Michael Tobin says genius idea, not many people doing it, and I completely agree. It's a very new idea.
Yes.
Honestly, I haven't like spent that much time on TikTok, but like the stuff that I've seen on TikTok is just like people dancing to weird songs.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I see a whole bunch of that, it's obvious that not much has been explored on TikTok, so good on you for actually trying something different.
Definitely. All right, last one. Austin.
Not to like shame TikTokers, but
well,
trying to be nice, Jake.
So what did he say? I'm sorry, I can't remember what he said. I think one was edited, one was unedited. I appreciate you including it unedited. That's really fun.
Yeah, no, smart moves.
Also,
so this is unedited.
I'm gonna talk fast because I have to pee. So I want to like get this done.
Fair enough.
We gotta be able to take a break. I gotta eat a pear, and then we gotta do part 2. So we're gonna look at this. We're not gonna give you less time, but I just want to focus and not go on a tangent about the size of the globe.
I think so. This is unedited. This is
flat-ish, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And basically what I see you trying to do is just pull away those harsher highlights and just make it more matted out. And I think I understand what you're doing. My one thing that I think I'd want you to consider is trying to unify these colors in a way. The blue is just so stark, and I think seeing, I don't know, give me a minute to think about this photo for a second. There's actually, okay, here's what I'm going to say. There's elements of the unedited photo that I think you should bring back to this photo. For instance, I love seeing the light peer through these bushes in the background. I think leaning into that mistiness is something that personally I really like seeing. So even though you're bringing down the highlights on this car, which gives it a nice matte sheen, I would say keep that mistiness in the background. Play on that, build that up some more,
because you have directional movement.
Absolutely.
You know,
and it also acts as like the metaphorical key light. The metaphorical key light in a lot of ways for the subject, and I think that is pretty powerful. I also like your greens. I think you brought a lot more character to the greens, The blue looks really great. I think you could play with, even though you're bringing down the highlights on the hood of the car, bringing up overall exposure on the vehicle. I think that might add some separation. But other than that, it's, I mean, also nice color. I like the car.
Yeah. Okay, I want to say something, and then we gotta
go for it
because we have 13 minutes. Looking at the actually just looking at the monitor, the framing that is here. I was gonna do something like complex to make this happen, but it's easier just this way. So like, there's the photo is larger, but you guys have all been seeing a cut off version, and what I was going to say was that, like, framing wise, I would put this car. This is such a silly way to do this. I would put this car like here. Oh God.
So in terms of a crop, though,
I would crop
like 16:9.
I don't know, but what I'm thinking of is that I would crop with the car at the edge.
So you want it for more square.
Because what I'm seeing like imagine if we did have that lit up, it's light and then it's directional, and the car's in the foreground. It's in your face, and there's nothing to distract you. Like this,
you're losing that too, which is good.
Good, yes. Yeah. It's a little bit distracting.
Yeah.
Even just here, white's gone. But I really think I like maybe this long, but maybe like here. Like, so it's right up in the edge, and then there's nature in the, in the background. Yeah.
No, man, even though you say you don't spend that much time, it takes a lot to I mean, I'm seeing already how much, like, I know how much work it takes to sort of cut down on those highlights in a way that doesn't completely ruin the rest of the photo.
Yeah.
So, I don't discredit yourself. You did some work on that photo for sure. But no, directionally, really smart.
Yeah.
I love the angle of the vehicle, and I absolutely love that mist behind the car.
Yeah.
But I'd say, lean into the moodiness too. Like, when you're going at this again, definitely lean into the moodiness. Like, I think it's okay to absolutely crush some of the blacks in this photo. Fade out the blacks though. That's just my personal thing. But like, I think lean into the shadows of this photo, for sure.
Okay.
I think that's.
Been trying to get better. You're doing really good.
Also, last thing I'm gonna say before Jake explodes. Also lean into the red. There's some red on the ground.
It's like sepia or like sienna almost.
Yep. Yeah. That frames on the side, and I think lean into that too.
So this is from my painting background. You can have, and you would, in like photography or design, you would call it, like, you would just desaturate, but you can have a color that is like vibrant, and you can have a color that is like an earth tone version of that color. Usually if you have contrasting colors, you want to play where one is vibrant and one is not. One is not. It doesn't mean desaturated, but it means more earth tone. So your red is like a sienna, and it's playing against that foreground green, like yellow green. If you make that red sienna, make sure that it's vibrating, it's vibrant, but it's more of an earth tone. Again, what it does is it'll make the green pop more.
Yeah.
That's called color harmony,
I'm assuming this is in Seattle, and I really miss Seattle.
I think he's
near in Seattle.
I think you're in Oregon. Is that right?
Oregon.
Pacific
Northwest. Like you said in your testimony, and I forget
Cascadia,
now.
For sure. Okay.
That's
guys,
all. We went a little over. I apologize.
A little bit over. Yeah. We love you, and we will see some of you in a couple minutes probably. And
also, day 2 of new Patreon. I'm sorry that things have been a little confusing lately, mostly because we've been learning to. Yeah. But happy
day 2
that
of month 1.
Getting on it. Yeah. Cool. He's right 100%.
Close to Seattle. Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
I was right. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Whatever, dude.
Whatever. Anyways, bye.
Bye.